Hello everyone, I am Professor Deepika M from Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. In today's session, we are going to learn about, like in the last video, we have discussed about how to design the heating element. So in today's session, we are solving some of the problems related to the design of heating element. So in some of the problem, we have the first problem, that is a 15 kilowatt 200 volt single phase resistance oven employs nickel chrome wire for its heating elements. If wire temperature is not to exceed 1000 degrees Celsius and temperature of charge is to be 600 degrees Celsius, calculate the diameter and length of wire assuming radiating efficiency as zero point 0.6 and emissivity as zero point 0.9. Determine also temperature of wire when charge is cold, and and the resistivity is given, that is 1.016 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. So this is the given problem they have given. Here we have, like, to understand the problem, we have the single phase resistance oven, so which is having the input given to the single phase resistance oven is 15 kilowatt, and it is operating at a voltage of 220 volts. And here they are employing nickel chrome wire as a heating element, and they have told that if the wire is not to exceed the temperature 1000 degrees Celsius, that is the highest temperature range is 1000 degrees Celsius, and the temperature of the charge, that is usually in the resistance oven we are going to keep something to be to get heat. So that element what we are calling as charge. Okay, so that charge is to be maintained at 600 degrees Celsius, and the diameter we have to calculate for this temperature range, and they have given that the radiating efficiency is zero point 0.6 and the emissivity is 0.9. So we also have to determine temperature of the wire when charge is cold. So this is the given data over here. So let us first list out the given data. The power input is 15,000 watt, and the temperature T1 is 1000 plus 273. That is, they usually give in the degree Celsius, and we need to convert it into a absolute temperature. So therefore, it will be 1273 degrees Celsius absolute, or we can write it as 1273 Kelvin. So this is the thing we have to convert here, because in the Stephen lab we have to substitute this temperature values. So while we are substituting, these temperatures should be of in the unit of Kelvin. Okay, so therefore this degree Celsius should be converted to absolute temperature. So therefore this is therefore we have to add 273 to every temperature over here. So, and the temperature of the charge is taken as T2, and its temperature is 600 plus 273. It gives us the value 873 degrees Celsius. And K is here, it is 0.6, that is the radiating efficiency, and the emissivity is 0.9 over here. So this is the given data. And for a circular element, we have this thing, that is we also have derived in the derivation part. So if we don't know the formula, then we can easily calculate, we can easily derive this. That is, power input is nothing but, it is nothing but V square by R, whereas R is nothing but rho L by A, whereas it is the circular element over here. So therefore the area is nothing but, that is the cross sectional area is nothing but pi d square by 4. So therefore, upon rearranging, we will get this data, and we are interested in length and diameter. So therefore, the length and diameter will be taken to our LHS side, and the remaining will be rearranged to the RHS side. So therefore, we will get L by D square is equals to pi V square divided by 4 rho P. Or we can reciprocate it, and we can write it as D square by L is equals to 4 rho P by pi V square. Let us substitute the data over here. We know the resistivity is nothing but 1.016 into 10 to the power of minus 6, whereas power input is nothing but 15 kilowatt, that is 15,000 watt, we can write it. And the voltage they have given us 220 volts, so therefore it is 220 square. So by upon solving, we will get this value, that is D square by L is nothing but 4.009126 into 10 to the power of minus 7. or we can write it as L by D square is nothing but 2.49431 into 10 to the power of 6. Let us take this as equation 1. So we know by the Stephen's law, the heat that is the heat radiated will be the heat radiated by a surface will be equals to 5.72 into K into E into T1 by 100 volt to the power of 4 minus T2 by 100 volt to the power of 4 watt per meter square. So let us substitute the value. K is equals to zero point 0.6 and emissivity E is equals to zero point 0.9 and T1 is 1273 and T2 is 873. So while solving, we will get the data, that is 6.31744 into 10 to the power of 4 watt per meter square. Now we have to calculate the area of radiating surface. So that is the surface where we are getting actually the radiation. So this is the surface area of a circular heating element we are taking. So therefore it is nothing but pi dl. That is the surface area of a circle is nothing but pi dl. So that we have taken over here. And heat dissipated, so here by the Stephen's law we will get heat dissipated per meter square, that is per meter square we have got, but we need to calculate area of heat dissipated throughout the surface. So therefore the surface area should be multiplied with the heat radiated per meter square to get heat dissipated throughout the surface. So therefore this will be equals to pi dl into h, and we have assumed that at a steady temperature what happens, the power input will be equals to the area of radiating surface, that is nothing but the output. So the power input will be equals to the power output we are going to equate. So we know that H is nothing but 6.3174 into 10 to the power of 4 and P is nothing but 15 kilowatt, that is 15 into 10 to the power of 3, and we are interested only in DL. So therefore DL will be equals to 0.075578. Now let us square on both sides. That is we have to equate the equation 1 and 2. So therefore we have to square on both the side. So this b square L square will be equals to 5.712162 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Let us multiply 1 and 2. So here I have not mentioned it as 1 and 2. So this will be the equation 2 here. So this will be the equation 2 and L by D square will be the equation 1. So let us multiply these two equations. So therefore L by D, that is LHS should be multiplied with LHS and RHS should be multiplied with RHS. And you can see here d square and d square will get cancelled out. So to cancel this term, only we have done the square on both sides. Okay, so this d square and d square will get cancelled and L cube will be equals to this thing, and now L will be equals to 24.2428 meter. So this is the length of the wire, that is the length of the heating element we have designed. And we have to calculate DL, diameter of the wire. So that is given in the problem, and therefore DL will be equals to 0.075578 and D into L is nothing but 24.2428 meter. So therefore D will be equals to 3.117544 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter, or we can call it as 0.31175 centimeter. So this will be the diameter, this centimeter will be the diameter of the heating element, and 24.2428 meter will be the length of the heating element. So by using this we can get the required temperature. So this is all about the designing of the heating element. And in the problem, they have asked the other part also. So one part with the given temperature, given power input, given voltage, we have to calculate the diameter of the wire. In the case 2, they have given the other scenario, that is when the charge is cold. Okay, so the charge is cold means it is usually in the absolute like it will be in the normal temperature, that is 20 degrees Celsius. So we are assuming that when the charge is at cold, like when charge is at the cold state, we are assuming that the temperature will be the 20 degrees Celsius. Now you can see here in this second case we have to calculate the what will be the temperature, what will be the temperature required by the heating element, so that we need to calculate. Okay, so therefore for this thing again, this everything will be same, that is the heat required will also be same, and the emissivity, everything is same, but the difference only that we have to calculate the T1 temperature. Okay, so therefore here in place of T2, again we are converting this degree Celsius temperature into absolute temperature by adding 273 to it. So therefore it has been converted into a absolute temperature. Now I want like now I'm interested only with the T1. So let us rearrange this term, that is we are taking this term like we are retaining this term as it is, and we are transferring this term to LHS side. Next what we will do is, so we'll solve this term, and we'll transfer this term to RHS again. So therefore T1 by 100 is this much, and now T1 will be equals to 1196.95 degrees Celsius absolute or Kelvin. So this will be the temperature, and we are interested with the degree Celsius, so therefore we can calculate this for with the degree Celsius temperature, that is by subtracting this answer with the minus 273. So therefore we will get the this temperature, that is when charge is at cold, when charge is at cold, this much temperature will be the for the same input and all, this will be the temperature of the heating element. In this way we need to design the heating element. So this completes the heating element design, and we can do the same thing, the procedure and the steps will be same for the rectangular strips also. So we have solved this problem with the given data, but we can solve this for nickel chromium strip for 0.25 mm thick also. So in the same way we can calculate this. Thanks for watching the video.